Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the tech Super Saiyan God Goku that recently got his Extreme Z Awakening as part of the part 2 of the global 7th anniversary. So he's a pretty good unit. He was already a pretty strong niche unit, a unit that excelled in content against pure Saiyans and movie bosses. They've kind of just extrapolated that, so he's still very good, but he's now a bit better in other content, but he's definitely still a premier unit if you are facing movie bosses units and now pure Saiyans units. So he's very solid. We'll take a look at his details. He's a super tech lead of 130%, which is decent, definitely not bad in any way, shape or form. And then he raises defense for 1 turn and seals the enemy super attack. This is all more than fine, a little bit of utility, always great to see, and just overall pretty solid stuff from Goku. Then he has Ki +3 and attack and defense of 150%. He randomly changes Ki spheres of a certain type to rainbow Ki spheres, and he gains attack and defense of 7% per Ki sphere obtained. He also gets an additional attack and defense of 77% with 2 or more rainbow Ki spheres, and reduces damage received by 77% when there is a movie bosses or pure Saiyans enemy. He has Saiyan Warrior Race, Godly Power, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Over in a Flash, Warrior Gods, and Fierce Battle as links. And he's on Realm of the Gods, Pure Saiyans, Movie Heroes, Goku's Family, Turtle School, Legendary Existence, Bond of Friendship, Accelerated Battle, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So pretty decent categories overall.
Let's do this.
Nice coverage. Obviously he's going to be best in any team when he's facing a movie bosses or a pure Saiyans enemy. It's really not so much his category that's much of an issue, it's more just who he's facing where you're going to see the absolute best out of this guy. But he's still a very solid unit, and there's nothing wrong with him in any way, shape or form at all, to be honest. I find him to be really good. What I like the most is his link sets. I think Prepared for Battle and Over the Flash gives him good coverage. He's good with God units and SS3 units, and he's pretty solid with obviously normal Saiyan units as well. So all pretty solid there from that perspective. Then also what I like is obviously Fierce Battle and Super Saiyan. Very generic coverage attack links, which makes them pretty solid overall. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to like the execution, I would say, of utilizing Goku. In terms of his like actual passive, obviously getting to Rainbow Orbs is quite crucial. That will take effect before he super attacks, so you'll see that when we have him on rotation, it will take effect. So obviously you'll see that occur when you utilize Goku. So that's obviously something that's very good and very solid. The main issue that you're going to have, if anything, with this unit is just that essentially he does only really have that kind of damage reduction against movie bosses or pure Saiyans. Now fortunately it's a very large coverage of the game. It's not necessarily something that's I want to say it's not really necessarily something that's bad per se. It's pretty strong coverage overall, and it means that he has a pretty solid like level to him, because a lot of units obviously give him that really strong basis of coverage, and he has a very good presence against those units. So that leaves him in a good stead. But getting the 2 Rainbow Orbs is very crucial to the performance of the God Goku unit, obviously. But overall, he still looks very good. Here he's going to take a super attack. He takes no damage here. Doesn't mean much. This is a Dokkan event. But it's good to remember this moment for later, because it's going to perfectly explain the only real hindrance to this unit. But yeah, he's a great unit, and he's obviously exceptional in like the Ultimate Red Zone against obviously God-based units. He's also fantastic in things like the LGE GT and the Legendary Vegeta event. Now, if we have a Legendary Frieza event, he may not be that good in that event up till a certain point, until Frieza becomes a movie boss. Or maybe if we have a Legendary Cell event, for example. You know, Cell doesn't really appear in a movie, so you're not really going to get the absolute best out of him there. So it's a little bit iffy from that perspective, but I mean, you know, everyone can kind of take from there what they will. But overall, I think, you know, he's incredibly solid, and I think that he's a very, very, very versatile and usable unit that a lot of people aren't really going to have a huge issue with using. I think he's a fantastic unit that will give you a lot of, you know, he'll give you a lot of assistance with some of the challenges that obviously are currently facing you in the game. It's nice that they gave him the scaling on the orbs. It obviously helps him out a little bit. You can kind of see that when you select the abilities, but it's not really too important. The most important thing is getting rainbow orbs, which is clearly quite easy for him to do. And of course, the most important thing is that he's facing a Pure Saiyans or a movie boss's enemy. He does raise defense, but overall I would still give him crit. You can see here he's got pretty decent defense, 183,000. Obviously not a super huge amount of orbs, but it's overall 183,000 is pretty solid. And his attack stats have also been pretty decent as well. Now his attack stats won't change. There's no other fluctuations barring his damage reduction. So that is one nice thing about the unit. You know, he's got 200k defense, which is great, and he's got 4 million attack stats, which is great. So he's definitely very solid as a unit. But the reason people really love this guy is for things like the ultimate red zone. His ability to just tank so many attacks and just not take any damage is really, really good. And it's why a lot of people rave about him. I think he's great, don't get me wrong. I think he is exceptional. He's clearly designed to assist people in those type of events. That's where Goku really shines, and you go like, wow, I'm really glad that I have this unit. And I think it's good that they design units like that. I think making units that are good in all contents, obviously fantastic, and does help. But personally speaking, I think, you know, you need these kind of units, these units that are good in specific slots or in specific stages or in specific content, because it gives people options, obviously, but it also just gives a unit a purpose beyond anything else. Like Goku in 20 years time, yeah, not that the game will last that long, but Goku, well, you never know, but Goku in 20 years time will be still an exceptional unit for any event against the movie boss's unit. And I think that's where these type of units are really good. It's like I look at the AGL Golden Frieza and the Tech Golden Frieza, and both of those units still tank so damn well in so much content. So it is just incredible, and it's part of the reason why people really do adore these kind of units. They just obviously are a lot of fun to utilize, and generally speaking, they really, really help to save a lot of people's runs and teams, and especially when it's a general banner unit that a lot of people have probably gotten. I think, you know, it's always a lot of fun. So yeah, Goku looks great. 200k defense, between 180 to 220k defense depending on support. At a rainbow level is decent. It's not crazy. Nowadays it's not uncommon, especially for rainbow units and rainbow newer units, to be up in the 300, 400k bracket. But with that being said, Goku doesn't, you know, he has 77% damage reduction against Pure Saiyans and against movie bosses. So for a very large portion of the game, he's effectively immune to damage, which I think makes up for the fact that by, you know, newer unit standards, 200k at a rainbow level might possibly be considered a little bit low. But it's still very good, and his attack stats are also very decent. 4 million. There's a lot you can gain from attack links with this guy. Saiyan Warrior Race is an attack link. Godly Power gives you crit. Super Saiyan gives you more attack. Prepared for Battle gives you more attack. Over in a Flash gives you more attack, Warrior Gods gives you more attack, and Fierce Battle gives you more attack. So you could really bump this guy up. You can probably get him to the, I would say, the 5 million mark with the right equipment. And I would definitely say building him into pure crit is definitely the way to go. Here we've got him with every single link active. So no support, every single link active. Obviously Vegeta's one of his very good running mates. One of his best linking partners. I'm trying not to show too much of Vegeta, obviously, to not ruin his showcase. But Goku just shy of 200k defense there, which we will exceed, obviously, once we fire off our super attack. But yeah, very, very solid stuff. I don't think you could look at Goku and say in any way, shape or form that he's average or disappointing. I think he's definitely an incredible unit. I think the EZA has been done well. I think they strengthened him for general content, but they just doubled down on making him really good in his niche field. You know, they said we're gonna keep your damage reduction obviously and just add another category. So I think that was good because 77% was still really good damage reduction. He was still being used as kind of like a trump card or a like secret technique, I want to say, for completing events against movie bosses. And now yeah, he does that but against pure Saiyans. So he's now he's double the fun basically, which I think is really, really awesome, and I think is really, really good overall. So yeah, super duper happy and chuffed with obviously his performance. And I think, yeah, you need to be just aware that, you know, on a general numbers basis he looks good. I'm not going to say he looks excellent, but on a general numbers basis he looks pretty solid. One thing to take note, if you noticed earlier in this fight, the Int Zamasu actually hit Goku for 20k damage, and I actually really enjoyed that happening because it shows that when Goku's damage reduction is not active, he's just going to take very normal amounts of damage. He has 200 or so thousand defense. Really hard events will still hit him really hard if his damage reduction is not there. So you can't, Goku's not just a defensive juggernaut in every situation. The Red Zone GT edition, Goku's not going to do anything for you there. Not that that's necessary, because Goku's an absolute behemoth in the movie bosses one. So, but it's just an example of how you do need to please be aware of how you utilize them. So yeah, now we'll talk about his links and his linking partners, and then we'll wrap things up. So yeah, in terms of links that you want to kind of focus on, obviously the links that are going to give you the best results in terms of link leveling, well, I mean, all of the links are pretty decent, but are mainly attack focused, as we mentioned earlier. You know, Saiyan Warrior Race, Godly Power, Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Over in a Flash, Warrior Gods, Fierce Battle, all give you attack. Prepared for Battle gives you a tiny bit of defense, like a very, very small amount of defense. It's nothing too noticeable at all. So yeah, in terms of everything else, I don't really think there's any link that's necessary for him. Obviously you have to choose between Prepared for Battle or Over in the Flash, but both of those are fairly common and you'll be able to get them pretty easily without too many hassles. Overall, it means that you have a decent amount of links that you can choose from for him to link with anyone, really. And like I said, he's pretty good for linking with fusion units and with Super Saiyan 3 units because they're Over in the Flash. So he actually has a really strong, versatile key link set, which I think is very, very good overall. And I think for the most part, you'll be quite happy that you utilized, so to say. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to his link set. Again, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, very common attack links. Godly Power and Warrior Gods helps you on a God team, but mainly a Red God team. And then Saiyan Warrior Race is a somewhat common link that you can use on Hybrid Saiyan teams or on Pure Saiyan teams. But his best linking partner is pretty much the Strength Vegeta. They share 6 links, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. But there's also quite a few other notable, pretty good linkers. He's obviously got the Super Saiyan God Boys. That's a 5 link unit. Then you've got SSB Kaioken Goku. You've got AGL Transforming Gogeta. All of these units share 5 links with them, which is pretty good. It means you've got some decent options. And then there's a ton of 4 link units. You've got Broly's, you've got UI Goku's, so you shouldn't really have that big of an issue overall. And obviously this LR is going to be their his number one pairing partner, I think, for a lot of people. And if you don't have that, then obviously the Strength Vegeta is probably going to be your number one pairing partner overall. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy using Goku. And yeah, otherwise I'll see you next time. Bye.